Morning, everyone. Welcome to our Wednesday meditation. I'm so glad you're all here to share this time together. This week we have kironJ Gardner who will lead us in meditation, and then we have 20 minutes of silence. After that, we open it up for sharing. We end at 10:45. Over to you, kironJ.
Thanks very much, Dan. It's very lovely to be here again. Really, really lovely. Thank you for the invitation. I'm going to offer a contemplation to lead us into the silence, and it's a contemplation of an idea that is the title of 3 A Course in Miracles lessons. No other idea is given such prominence. And the idea is, I am as God created me. And this underpins the atonement principle, which underpins the whole of A Course in Miracles. So it's a very powerful idea. And I hope you will find the contemplation and the meditation helpful. Would you like to close your eyes? Opening our minds to spirit together. I am as God created me. The one idea which brings complete salvation. The one statement which makes all forms of temptation powerless. The one thought which renders the ego silent and entirely undone. In this one thought is all the past undone, the present saved to quietly extend into a timeless future. If you are as God created you, then there has been no separation of your mind from his, no split between your mind and other minds, and only unity within your own. There is no dream these words will not dispel, no thought of sin and no illusion which the dream contains that will not fade away before their might. You are as God created you. These words dispel the night, and darkness is no more. The light is come. And we go into silence now.
open your eyes and come back into the room. We have 22 minutes left for sharing your reflections and your questions. If you'd like to speak, raise your hand and I'll invite you to take yourself off mute. And if you'd like to, you could also use the electronic hand at the bottom of the screen. And if you'd like to leave some share with in confidentiality, put your message in chat and I'll read it out. Who'd like to share? Evelyn.
Thank you, Dan. Thank you, kironJ. That was just beautiful and powerful. It's just powerful, powerful reminder, straight just to the heart of all that is and who we are. So it's just perfect. Thank you very, very much indeed. Bless you.
Thank you, Evelyn. Thank you for your beautiful receiving of the invitation. It just says your mind is really interested in this remembering. Lovely, thank you.
Who would like to share? John, take yourself off mute.
Hi, sorry for that delay. They've moved around these icons on our screen. They used to be on the top, now at the bottom. Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you so much, kironJ. That was beautiful and so appetite for me because, first of all, it's lovely to see, always lovely to see you. And to witness your blossoming, I don't know, just growth and the way you've committed to this work. It's quite incredible. I salute you, as they say. And it's true that the contemplation part that you read is so beautiful and it is so non-negotiable, you know, just if we could remember that one thing, it takes it all away. And, you know, I mean, all the stuff I've done, and I still have a real ego thing that bites me in my behind occasionally. And it's happened again this week. I had an email from somebody, friend, and it didn't say dear John or hi John or whatever. It just went straight into, I need to discuss something with you by email. Contact me, you know, and we'll discuss this. And then their name. And straight away, oh my God, I went into such a place. Oh, whoa, what's this about? What have I done? You know, what have I done? Have I done something wrong? Oh my goodness me. And then what made it worse was, of course, you know, I was very, very aware. I'm pretty sharp as far as some of these scamming methods go, you know, and that is a great sign where there's no introduction with your name and everything else. So I decided not to reply automatically to the email because I think that's half the thing. So I went on a separate email and said, hi, you know, I just received this purportedly from you. Would you like to give me a call? And if it wasn't you, you know, I know it's a scam, just to verify. That was all, you know. So did that, no response, nothing came back. So then I left a telephone message and nothing came back from that either. And it was like the next thing I was in a spin of, oh, what have I done? I've upset this person and blah, 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 blah. And of course, you know, it's all nonsense. It's just my mind. And that one contemplation, I am as God created me. Yes, totally innocent. You know, it's just an amazing tool to bring us back to the truth of who we are. So it was very, very beautiful, and the way you delivered it. So thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, John. Ah, what a wonderful example of how the mind in its guilt can project that guilt on to anything. Doesn't matter. It's like a, you know, radar. Oh, I'll put it there. I'll put it there. And if there is still some lingering guilt in the mind about the decision to separate, which has never happened, then these experiences will keep coming up. And it's, you know, it's obviously it's wonderful that you've seen through it. Just as an aside, I received a similar email. I suspect it was from, not from, but, you know, seemingly from the same person. And yes, just to let all these things go. They don't need to be engaged with. It looks like an email from somebody, but actually it's just a thought in the mind. And if we see it as a thought in the mind, then we're in a position as a mind, checking in with the Holy Spirit, anything to be done here? And in this kind of situation, when it's obviously a scam, nothing to be done. I did let the person know with a different email that there had been some hacking. That was the guidance. Yeah. So thank you for the example that it's really good to be vigilant, and we can always come back to this idea. The lessons are 94, 110, and 162. And the contemplation I read had an extract from each of the 3 lessons. So if you feel so inspired, you might want to check in with those lessons. Absolutely wonderful. Yeah. Thanks, John.
Jim, would you like to share?
Maybe you put down.
Can you hear me, Dan, okay?
Can hear you well.
You can hear me, good. Thanks very much, kironJ. Everything you've said is very much in keeping with what I've been practicing. As some of you know, I'm in hospital at the moment. And the idea that I am as God created me is one of those things that keep me going, because there is that knowledge which has been with me all the time, that nothing's really happening to the Son of God. It's all taking place in a drama. The drama was over long ago, and I am still as unchanged as I've always been. I think the email you're referring to may have come from me, or supposedly from me anyway. If anybody's had an email from me, or appears to be from me, asking for an Amazon gift card, you can completely ignore it. I'm on hospital Wi-Fi here, and I think that the Wi-Fi has been hacked into, so people have been getting these dodgy emails. Anyway, I think you know I will be asking for an Amazon gift card. But yes, it's been wonderful, really. It's been a wonderful learning. This residual guilt you spoke about just now as well. Any judgment that comes up is just a sign of that. And I just have to see through it. But I've never separated, so there's no guilt. Yeah, I mean, it's all perfect. Everything's perfect. So thank you for a very apt lesson for all of us, I'm sure. Thank you.
Thank you, Jim. It's very lovely to hear from you. And how miraculous it is that you are choosing to see your experience like this. That it is a classroom. All these difficulties, the seeming difficulties that we have, are just the perfect classroom. The Holy Spirit can take anything we've made, including reasons for being in hospital, and see them as the perfect stepping stones to remembering that I am as God created me. And if we're in any challenging experience, we have this fabulous contrast. I ache, I hurt, whatever is going on, the relationship's very difficult. And that has to be a hallucination, because I am as God created me. And we can be with that contrast in our mind and keep coming to Spirit and saying, if we feel inspired to, help me open to the state of mind that really sees this. It has to be an hallucination, this ache, this pain, this conflict, this whatever, because I'm as God created me. Nothing's going on here except a mind that's making up dramas, as Jim said, ideas, stories about the crazy idea of being separate from God. And as we keep going and keep opening and keep using our classrooms as classrooms, this will become more and more apparent. Has to be a tiny mad idea, because here I am the mind that is with Spirit, with Jesus, with God. That can't possibly be my reality. And yet, if we accept that it's the mind that's been making these stories, not disowning that, then we are really claiming the power to choose again, to choose this knowing. And then we will have experiences that reflect that more and more. Some classrooms, quite possibly, if there's any lingering guilt, but more and more, there will be the beauty and the peace and the unity of our truth being reflected. And of course, coming together like this is a wonderful example of a picture reminding us of truth. Yeah. So thanks very much, Jim.
Would like to share? Sue, take yourself off mute.
Hi, thank you. Yeah, thank you very much, kironJ. That was beautiful for me, but it was very strange in something that I've not experienced before. I went into the meditation, and a couple of weeks ago, I've been working very much on forgiving one of my people that I single out for special hate. And I made a lot of progress with this and was able to see this person as innocent and of great value to God, and myself the same. So when I started into the meditation this morning, I am as God created me. That person was with me. We were both there and surrounded by light and God's love and so on. And I thought, this is weird. This is supposed to be me and God. So what is this person doing here? And then I got the thought very strongly. If I am as God created me, I cannot be alone. And then I kind of pondered on that for a while, and this person stayed sitting. She never spoke the whole time. She was just there, just a loving presence. And then I became aware of, like, we were surrounded by loving presences. And this seemed that this was how it should be all of a sudden. It wasn't strange anymore. It wasn't, go away, this is me and God. It was, this is me being part of something that is as God created it. And it was such a strange experience, but so just loving and beautiful. And I just wanted to share it.
Thank you. So glad you have. How beautiful that your mind chose that experience. And you highlight something that's really significant in our healing journey. We can begin by thinking this is a personal healing. This is my healing journey. It's about my relationship with God, with Spirit, thinking it's all wrapped up with the personal I, the separate self, because we're coming from an experience of being a separate self. So all good. You know, we have to go up the rungs of the ladder, if you like, and we have to go on the bottom rungs before we can reach the higher rungs. So all good. My salvation. I want God.
Yeah.
And then if we keep going, we realize that it can't possibly be like that. Because if the separation has never happened, there's no individual I that's trying to heal, that's trying to get back to heaven. There's only a realization we're all together. not as separate selves, but as thoughts, capital T, in the mind of God is one way that we're described. Brothers in Christ, we're all extensions of God's being. We want to remember God, we have to remember that all of us are part of God, the truth of us, not the person. So you bring a really valuable and helpful and beautiful teaching. Thank you.
Thank you. I thought I must have done it wrong at first.
Yeah. Well, that again is a teaching. The Course says, don't judge the forgiveness process. Don't set it in an earthly frame. Don't try and understand it with the human apparatus. Learn to keep trusting the sense of it. Oh, I think I need to go in this direction in my mind, in my meditation. Okay, my senses, so I'll do that. Not worrying about whether it makes sense to us as people. Yeah, lovely, lovely that you kept going.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Who'd like to share? I'll jump in here. I found that very powerful, that what you shared, kironJ, and and when I went into meditation, I took that affirmation with me. I am as God created me, and then I opened my eyes and I saw everyone, all these bodies in separate boxes, and I realized that's just the appearance. It's not who we truly are. We're all one. We're all joined, and that felt so wonderful to get that sense um, of who I truly am. But we're all one. I'm done.
Mm. Thank you very much, Dan. Yeah, beautiful, beautiful. So that was your mind's experience, your mind's choice.
Mm.
Yes.
Who'd like to share?
I'm just, yeah, sorry, there you go. Yeah, okay.
No,
Yeah.
go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say that a quote comes to mind, that the real heaven is the greatest threat we think we could experience. So alongside this deep yearning to open and to remember will be a terror, because there's no people in heaven. If we're as God has created me, then there's none of this separate bodies, little boxes. You know, it's wonderful. We're seeing each other in boxes now as a symbol. And so we can, if we realize that there is terror along with the desire to remember, we can ask for help for that. If we don't realize there's terror, we can't ask for help for it. So that's what I would like to offer, is all encouragement to realize that until we have completely transcended the ego, till there's no sense of an individual me, there will be a split desire in operation. I do and I don't want to remember the truth. I do and I don't want to know myself as God created me. And not to see that as a failure or an obstacle, simply a very helpful observation. This is the territory of the healing process. I do and I don't. And the I do will grow stronger if we keep going. But it's always so helpful to appreciate there will be an I don't until we are in peace all the time. We have no sense of this world being real. We never react because we know it's not real. Until we reach that point, I certainly haven't, there's a split desire in operation, and we can keep choosing the healing of that split desire so that we can fully remember that we are as God created us.
Beautiful. Who'd like to share? Okay, well, we've come to the end of our time together. kironJ, thank you. That was wonderful. And take yourself
you,
off
Dan.
mute and show your appreciation to kironJ.
Thank you, kironJ.
Right.
you.
kironJ. Thanks,
Thank you so
everyone.
much.
Thank you.
Beautiful to be with you.
Much.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Thank